Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Friday of Musings. Sorry, I just wanted to start with that before it was fully loaded in so you could see under the water in all its glory. That just looked so cool because without the haze of the blue, the water, you could just see all of the colors. So, anyways, hopefully that persisted. I mean, working with technology as much as I have, you start to understand that not everybody is going to see everything that you see. The whole joke, it works on my computer, is a long ongoing joke in IT and tech jobs all over. It's like, well, yeah, it works on your computer probably because you have the correct packages installed, the correct updates, or what have you. Also, I just noticed that my texture pack isn't working still, so right there, there's a glitch. Like usually I have the city texture pack on, but this is Minecraft traditional. So you can see these are the traditional. Actually, those look pretty much the same, I feel like the pumpkins, the axe looks more traditional. The Minecraft pickaxe, that's like what I think of when I think of Minecraft is or the pickaxe because you're mining. Anyways, so I wanted to hop on right before I got to get to work. I mean, yes, I work like everybody, most people work. Sorry, as I say that, there's a lot of people that don't work the traditional Monday through Friday 9 to 5. So I work a Monday through Friday 8 to 5, but from 8 to 9, it's sprinkled with. Yes, I like check my messages, make sure there's nothing on fire, because I work in IT, and the first thing you want to do is make sure that there's nothing critical or serious going on, and then you can kind of scale down to like, okay, now what about the other issues? Are there any issues in general? Like, um, yeah, there's a few things that I need to take care of today, but and then what can wait until the next day? Like, because you simply cannot solve every IT issue every single day. But you need to have a good system in place and a good system of communication, or good communication needs to be part of that. So the end user knows, like, okay, well, at least they're looking at it, or at least it's on their radar. It's not going to be forgotten or slip through the cracks. And that's why most companies use ticket systems for IT issues, which are my company, admittedly, and I work in a study abroad school. Basically, oh, it's a mess, but I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, it's doable. Like considering our company size, I mean, we're a small school, but at the same time, we have a lot of interesting things come up. So, anyways, the reason I wanted to make a musing so early was because I've started talking. So I met a few friends. Like we've been talking this season about Soldier and Lawyer. Well, Soldier got tired of of Lawyer and me talking about stuff, and he was still included on the replies because this is all on the X app, by the way, which you can find my X app details in my profile. But it's basically Alex Ryan STEM. Like if you just search for that, you'll find it. But it's a flaming dumpster fire of politics, religion, and it's kind of, I don't know. I've made a lot of enemies and I've made a lot more friends, but I've lost some friends over how much they just don't like. And from both sides of the political argument, I haven't really lost any friends for the religious argument because most people that know me know that, well, one, I don't care what you believe. I believe in your right to believe that. In fact, my one of my best friends, he has a saying, I believe you believe that. And that's his one size fits all, or his scalable solution to literally any situation. He can always say that and it works for anything because it's like I might not really agree with that, but I believe that you believe that, like I understand that you believe that. So there, and then in that line of thinking, and I'll say it again, this guy is one of the smartest people I know. Not book smart. He didn't do so well in school, and that's fine. Because I think it was like Einstein was like saying something. If you judge a fish on how well the fish can climb a tree, it's going to fail. And so there's intelligence and then there's intelligence. Like there's being able to follow orders and, follow directions and do the things. And again, a lot of that, if people aren't able to do that, usually it's because of underlying factors. Maybe they didn't have enough to eat. Maybe they don't feel secure enough in their own life. Or maybe they, they got a lot of other things going on. Like there's a whole number of reasons. And I say that, and that's just the tip of the iceberg too. That's not an exhaustive list of all the things that can go wrong. There could be abuse. There could be, there could be alcoholism. There could be drug use. There could be, or even just bad luck, like caused by any number of these things, directly or indirectly. Or what if their parents are in jail, for nonviolent crimes, or I mean, or violent crimes? Like we gotta. understand that, all people, we got to take all people into our consideration when we're thinking through these problems. Now, specifically, the lawyer and I, we started a new thread. I mean, I'm actually now following both of the lawyer and the soldier, and they're following me. And we're going to continue to debate everything under the sun. And they're holding to their beliefs too, and that's fine. You shouldn't just cave in, based on some good evidence. Like, you should do you should follow the trail yourself, and we should all be following these trails. And we need to get money out of politics. That's the biggest thing. If we stopped making it such a show, like such a big razzle-dazzle production, then a lot of our problems here in America wouldn't exist. Like, we just wouldn't have them because nobody would have to lie or stretch the truth or magnify certain facts while ignoring certain other ones or, omitting certain other things. Like, when kids do it, parents are like, "Hey, now, that's not okay because that's just as good as lying." Because and here's why. Whereas, oh, that's right, it's raining. Okay, I was wondering why these were getting saturated when these weren't, but slowly I think these will start getting saturated as well. So, but anyways, no. People will people, and that's the biggest thing to remember through all of this. People will people. Now, how do we make people people in a way that's safe and that assures life? Well, communication, and we need to work on that. And it's not like I'm anything special. I'm one of many people out there trying to talk on the X app. And I love what Elon did. He forced people to get outside their echo chambers and start interacting with people that they didn't follow or didn't follow them. And generally, based on the algorithms, aligned with the opposite camp. Like, Democrats were talking to Republicans, Republicans were talking to Democrats. Libertarians often fall in the Republican camp because I have a few libertarian friends that they're not too happy with Republicans, but they're even more not happy with Democrats. And so, unfortunately, if you disagree with one or the other, it's almost a binary choice. You have to either be red or blue. Like, there's no room for green in our government, which is sad. I actually voted Libertarian during the Hillary Trump thing, and a lot of people did, and I feel like that's why Trump actually won. Because I still think, I mean, no Republican, what was it I was reading? We're going on 20 years of Republicans not winning the popular vote. They just played the game well enough to win enough electoral votes to win. And that's all it is. It's a game. And the Democrats are playing games too. Like, it's all a big game with our lives, with our money, with our families, with our health. Like, everything is a big game to them. And it's sad because Republicans generally seem to look out for the wealthy, you know, wealthy first and then trickle down to everyone else because they're going to trust the wealthy to be good leaders and to blah, 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 blah. But that's how we ended up with such horrible wealth inequalities is trickle down with the Reaganomics. And Bidenomics is making a step to try to fix that. But even within the Democrats, I have some criticisms. Like, I found out about the SALT tax, and I need to look it up to really understand it more, but already there's evidence of foul play on the Democrat side. And it's just like a football game, there's going to be fouls on both sides. It's not like one side is going to come at it like completely legitimate, and without mistakes or flaws. That's insane to think that. Like, and it's not something to be embarrassed about if you've been duped by this type of thinking. It's their job. Their job is to get votes. Their job. I'm sorry, didn't bring my water, but we're only going to do like a little half one because I got to get a lot of work done today. But anyways, and I've already checked all my emails and my messages, and I've already like made a plan. In fact, I started working at about 7:30 today, so it's okay. I can do this little 15-minute video. But anyway, so now lawyer and I are talking on a Islam account, and we're going to have our discussions on Islamic accounts because we want to bring the Islamic community into our discussions. Now, it's going to get ugly because the lawyer thinks that Islam is evil and needs to be eradicated, wiped off the face of the earth, which is ironic because that's why he says it's evil, because it says that Islam says to do this, to go wipe out all Christians and non-believers and spread the religion by sword. And while yes, that is scary that a holy book says that, it's it's not like the Bible doesn't say stuff like that too. Like the eternity in everlasting torture and all of this ugly if you don't not only submit to Jesus being God, like, and that's where Christianity strays from like monotheistic religion. Monotheistic religion believes that we were created by one single entity. That's it. You can blur the lines, and that includes all major religions. Also, we're lagging a bit. We gotta be careful. Okay, cool. I try not to do as much to let it kind of catch up there. Because if you continue to do more things, and that's going to add to the pile. And if the pile gets too big, then the game will crash. So, anyway, that's just, oh, I don't have any emeralds. And that guy had slime. Okay. Anyways, so, oh, this looks so weird without the texture pack. But anyways, misunderstanding and miscommunication. It's the basis of everything. So yes, the Quran says spread Islam by the sword. Now, I keep asking this guy, like, well, okay, how many Muslims are killing Christians today? Like to this day, like right now, what are the problems right now? Because if you're pointing at a 2,000-year-old book, whoops, I forgot emeralds, and that goes for the Bible or the Quran. If you're pointing at a 2,000-year-old book and saying that we need to solve problems only from this and not have any additional insight from enhanced perspectives. Also, I don't think I have any emeralds over here. I have tons over there. All right, let's fix that. But yeah, that's the problem with all radical religions, and not radical religions. Sorry, when people take religion too far, extremists, and and that's not pigeonholing someone into a lifelong death sentence of you are now an extremist for your entire life. Quite the contrary, and that's why I love doing all these discussions with people on the X app. Well, actually, let's just take this whole thing. Um, is because the more you find, or the more you talk to people, the more you find, oh, I thought these people were like super evil and all this, but really they're just saying this and then, but then, oh, but I'm going to think that they said this just because that's what my political leaders told me to think. And it's true for both sides, red and blue. And I've noticed it. And I used to be all gung-ho Democrat. Like, my Facebook used to be polluted with like, oh, Republicans are so stupid and Democrats are awesome. And I mean, that's not what they were actually saying, but it sounded like that. And it's hard not to sound like that when you try to support one side without giving concessions to the other side or understanding or admitting something about the other side. Also, why do I have so much iron ore? Let's get that cooking. All right. So, in fact, let's see which one is the one that I set up. So, oh, we have a smelter. And I never really get a lot of chances to do this. Okay, so they're gonna all filter down into there. So they'll be in the hopper while this is cooking, and then watch, it's constantly 64. It'll fill back up. And then it'll fill back up with wood too, because I have wood in here. So I've got a backup hopper of that, and it's almost like paintball. So anybody who's played paintball, that you have a hopper that attaches to the paintball gun that has the paintballs in the top, and then gravity helps them fall down. You can get an agitated hopper where it has a little device that spins and agitates the paintballs so they fall down the tube faster. Um, I don't know. Yeah, paintball, there's a whole lot to that. But look, it's going to continually be 64, 64, and then as it produces something, it gets sucked down into here. So see, these are all the leftovers, and then sand. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just still very excited about this thing that we figured out quite by accident. I had no idea that you could hook up a hopper to this, and I know there's people out there that already know this. I mean, there's like redstone. Like, let's take a look at this. I'm still trying to figure out, not very hard, how to make a redstone door. Like, it sounds so simple, and I've seen videos of it like a million times. Not really, probably about 100, but anyways, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos about making doors, and to this day, I'm still not sure what the best method is. And then it's different from, see, so that works on these two blocks. But yeah, the mechanics of that, and it's also different from Java and Bedrock, which this is Bedrock, just because it's played on a PlayStation, and I mean, I tried to play it on computer, but I don't know, for some reason, just console is easier for me, you know? Anyways, back to the religious talk. So, and we're getting nigh on that 15-minute mark. We got about a minute, but so Islam and Christianity are both not without fault. It's like two football teams coming together, and there's penalties on both sides, and it's how you interpret it is what's important. So like the intent, did the people really mean to harm or hurt someone else? And did they know what they were doing? Like understanding. Again, it all comes back down to communication and understanding. And now that we're breaking the language barrier, a lot of this stuff is surfacing. Like I lived with a bunch of Muslims in college, the most peaceful and loving guys I ever knew. Like, I mean, they had my back 100%. Like, they supported me, they looked out for me, we looked out for each other, like, we were friends. I mean, which was weird because it was just like my American friends do. Like, there was almost no difference. In fact, I'd almost say that they were a little more genuine because something I've noticed with small towns versus cities is on average, someone from a small town is more likely to be more respectful and genuine than someone from a city because it's so much easier in a city to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this half-ass. This human interaction here, I'm just gonna half-ass it, meaning I'm not gonna put enough effort in to really give this person the respect they deserve, but I don't have time. I gotta go, 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 and rush, 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 and that's why you see a lot of traffic accidents, which I actually saw a car crash right before me. It was or an accident. It was more of a fender bender. We were stopped for somebody, and because of bad communication, the person 2 cars behind me or the truck didn't know that we were all stopping to wait for somebody to make a left-hand turn, and there wasn't a turn lane. Now this particular road goes really quick, so it's hard to stop. You got to slow down in advance. But if you're overly cautious and you slow down too much, you could cause road rage that way because people don't understand why you're being overly cautious. Like, are you old? Are you drunk? Are you, whatever? Are you impaired? Because that's something that came out with the lawyer and the soldier is we talked about impaired driving and how the soldier brought up that marijuana or cannabis caused about 300 deaths. Now, not directly, not from cannabis use alone or weed use or pot use, whatever you want to call it. But then alcohol does have direct health problems that can cause death directly from just using it. Now what the person does when under the influence of it is also dangerous. Now, I pointed out that impaired driving, sleepy driving, I think there's some like 6,000 deaths every year for sleepy driving. And that's people not taking care of themselves, not taking enough time to rest to be effective drivers or safe drivers. And so they can make mistakes because they're sleepy. They need to take a nap. I mean, it's not completely their fault. Like they could be pushed by the desire to do the American dream. They have to succeed. They got to fake it till they make it. Or so. I mean, there's a whole number of reasons why somebody would be sleepy driving. Or they went out partying. They wanted to try to see what the American dream was like, go relax and recreate in ways that the actual recreation might have been perfectly fine and safe, but the hangover or the next day or not getting enough sleep causes an accident. So, blind spots in corner cases. But anyways, oh yeah, now we're at 17 minutes. So I'm going to go. I got to get some work done, but have a great day, everybody. I'll try to get back on tonight and do some more musings. I wanted to talk about some of the specific discussions that I'm having on the X app and kind of pick apart those discussions and analyze them to see like, well, why are they significant? Why are these important? And why are they not? I mean, a lot of this could be, and I admit I act out of emotion sometimes. It's human nature. And I've been a little short, especially with one guy. Okay, we'll talk about this one real quick. So climate change. ExxonMobil did a study in the 70s that proved that climate was changing and it was going to continue to change because of direct human interaction with fossil fuels. And I'm not saying fossil fuels are evil and we got to get rid of them. It's just we've known about this since the 70s that if we use fossil fuels like we're doing and we continue on to do so, it's going to cause health problems, environment problems, species are going to start dying out, humans are going to have more problems that they got to solve. Like it's bad news. So now, the people in power, the ones that had a lot of money invested in fossil fuels, and they're like, oh, come on, now we just spent all this work and effort and money, and we got a lot riding on these fossil fuels. We need to just kind of ignore this study and continue to keep on. Or let's kick the can down the road and then our kids' generation will fix it, which I have no doubt that my kids and their generation are going to fix it with how smart kids are today. But it's up to us to stop standing in people's way and stop muddying the waters as it is and confusing that, yes, fossil fuels are dangerous. And so this guy comes on and it comes out that, but from looking at his wall and from the little bit that we talked about, he's a religious person. He believes in God. And then he said something that, and this is the dangers of religion. He blindly believes that God's going to fix everything, even though the Bible says that God works in mysterious ways. So, if you're really, a true Christian, you believe that, well, even if God's doing it, it might not look like it. It might be some person doing it. And that's kind of a cop out. Like it's a one size fits all solution for explanation of things, but it's also a cop out because that's not a verifiable fact. Like you don't know that God's controlling a person to make that person do something to fix people. Like, that's you can't prove that. And so that could just be fantasy. It could be made up or it could be real. But it's not proven, so therefore it's not really valid in arguments. It wouldn't be valid in a court of law. You can't say God told me to do it or Allah told me to do it, which Fun fact, Allah means God. Like Islam is basically Christianity just by different people, and Christianity is Islam just by different people. And then there's just like the discrepancies are, and I mean by that, that all religion is humanity's best attempt at explaining things and trying to help fix things. That's it. It's human nature to do these things. So it's no surprise that we all built pyramids, in different parts of the world without contact with each other. Isolated people exhibit similar humanistic traits all around the world because at the core, humans are the same. At the core, the only things that change are our environment, and America has a pretty bloody hand in a lot of environments, and so that's why, understandably, we got to fix that. And people don't really understand that because they couldn't see the woods because of too many trees. Like they're so blinded to what they need to see because of discrepancies, details, and stuff that they let it muddy the waters and confuse and miscommunicate. Now, this guy, he says, climate's not bad. Earth is a perfect filtration machine. Go outside and look up. That's all the proof you need. And it's like, no, 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 no. And then he posted a meme that said 97% of scientists agree that they don't want to be defunded. Okay, well, yeah, there is some truth to that. However, look at the research that all these scientists did, and about 97% of scientists, climate scientists, by the way, not engineers, not computer scientists like myself, I haven't done any research. I just trust the people that do. And a 97% amount of people that know what they're doing say, this is dangerous. Now, the degree of how dangerous this is, it could be different than what people are saying, but it's dangerous. Like we know. Okay. People understand that it's dangerous. Okay, check. But then we get people trying to buy those votes saying, it's not dangerous. The Democrats are trying to the Green New Deal and this and that. It's a scam. And meanwhile, yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, I'm talking to that guy. I'll let you know how that goes. Geez, we're already at 22 minutes. I can talk for a while. Um, but it's exciting because we're now going to breach this subject with Muslims from around the world. It's going to be ugly. And already the dude started, or the lawyer started with a very bold thing like Islam is evil and all this. And it's on a post that looks very similar to the Pope's post by an Islamic page saying, and he even said, oh, well, I'll talk about it later. But, anyways, I'm going to go. I got to get to work. I will see you all later. Have a great day. Ta ta. Oh, and be kind and try to understand and communicate with each other. Patience, patience, patience. All right. See you later.